And every time you try to game the system, or you've got, like, you go ahead and do that, dildo. Peter, Tad, come with me if you want to live. Tad, come with me if you want to live. Your gate is wide open. Oh, this is you. What's with the fan?
It's a way for me to air condition your whole body so that I can make sure that the alerts don't come through. That the alerts come through smoothly.
Is that what you're supposed to say?
No, I have no idea. What am I supposed to say where I'm at?
All right, it's 5:30. Everybody's gone for the weekend. I am exhausted, beat, but I'm going up top the hill. I'm going to plant trees. So, thunderstorm coming in. Should be here any time. Hopefully I can get a row of these trees in. Sun right there. Sun over there. But you can hear the thunder in the distance coming. Flew in and hit my eyelid. He didn't sting me, but man, hit my eyeball. I don't know if these ones are viable still, but I'm going to plant them and we'll see. They've got some sprouts kind of growing on, well, one of them. One of them has sprouts. I don't know, a couple of them do. We'll see. Man, it is wet out here. No rain yet, so there's 25 willows. I don't know that they're gonna make it, but we'll see. And then here is a bunch of mulberry, which is what we have the most of, is mulberry. I'm gonna turn that hose on and at least get that berm wet and this berm wet in case the thunderstorm doesn't come. You never know. Once you get past the dirt a couple inches down, it's mud down in there. So the swales are working. The berms are soaked. A couple of those swales are still holding water from when we filled them this morning. The dirt's just real greasy. Still holding water. Looks like it's full of gasoline or oil. It's real greasy. And then we never filled these, but we'll see tomorrow if they end up filling. And once we get some real rains, it'll wash all this loose dirt in here and make this a little shallower. Sunday, what's up? It's probably, I don't know, 6 o'clock-ish. Let's see, what time is it? 7:30. I haven't done a ton today. I slept a lot and just feel like shit the last couple days. Cold, throat sore, nose is stuffed up or running, take your pick. And my eyes are like all red and scratchy, like I get like they're running, like my eyes are running. And I think it's that my sinuses are so jammed up that it's actually pushing through my eyes. I don't know. Still just trying to get shit done though. So didn't plant anything today on the swales. Came out twice, took care of all the animals, did a little bit of piddly shit inside. And now that it's the sun's down, it's cooling off a little bit. It is so like wet outside. I've got some empty gas cans. Guys ask about gas cans all the time, man. That's like the biggest mystery to people. And it's really pretty simple. I think it's just because you have so many options. So like paralysis through analysis. Gasoline is way up in price. Like if you'd have bought gas 2 years ago, it's way less than now. But could you buy enough to make a difference to really matter, right? I've got some tanks that are 550 gallons. Gas doesn't store as well as diesel, but diesel's up like 3 times the price. So had you stored diesel, you know, you'd be way ahead. A cheap thing everybody can do is get these VP gas cans, or better yet, the ones from Tractor Supply, the white, square, like tall race jugs. There's 3 in the back, in the bed back there. And I'm going to Tractor Supply to buy a couple more. I wouldn't want to store gas in them for years, but if you had like 12, January, February, March, right? And once you got to 12, just every month dump one in your truck or in your lawnmower or something, and then take it and fill it up when you go fill up. My truck is super low. This thing has like a 35-gallon tank in it, so I'm under half. And I meant to fill up on the way into town from getting all those protein tubs the other day, and I just didn't. Had some friends in town, Nick and Bob, and we went to the Mexican place to eat. First time I've eaten in town in probably 2 years. Like, I just don't eat in town. And I realized the truck was really low, and I didn't stop and fill it then either because I had the guys with me. So being a pussy today, truck's got good air conditioning, so this is something I can do even if I don't feel good, but I still feel like I had some progress somewhere, right? So I'm gonna go pick up a couple more gas cans and I'm gonna fill these up. And the reason I like these is that plastic, that silicone tube nozzle, when you have to lift that gas can up to put it in a four-wheeler or like your lawnmower or something, it's just easy to deal with this, more so than the NATO cans. The NATO cans, even with a flexi nozzle, they only flex so much. So if you have that can on the ground and you're trying to fill like a small motor or generator, it doesn't really work like that. Like you can bend that nozzle enough that you actually crack the nozzle and gas comes through and gets, like, the last thing I want when I'm doing anything fueling is to get gasoline all over me. I remember as a kid, like putting your hands in gas to clean parts and shit, and it didn't bother you. And then I was like 30 and I got gasoline all over me and it dried my hands out and they cracked and bled like the next day. So I don't know if gas is different or your skin just changes as you age or what, but gas on me is the last thing I want. Having these flexible nozzles is just very convenient. Long term, for most people, what is long term, right? 12 months, not a problem. And these things are like 25 bucks. The good NATO gas cans, the good ones, $85, $95 a piece. Got them on the back of my trucks, I got them on the back of the 4Runners, I've got them everywhere. But they're not as convenient. For long-term storage, the metal, because it doesn't let it breathe, the metal can swells up in the summer and it sucks in the winter, but you never smell gas. These plastic ones, these newer ones that I'm using, when the nozzle's locked down, you don't smell gas either. Now over time, maybe you will. And over time, the gasoline will, you know, the vapor will bleed through the plastic. It's the lightweight volatiles, that's what you see, that shimmer, that's what you smell, and that's the combustible part, that's the explosive part of gasoline, and that's the part you lose. A good like rule of thumb, rule of wrist, get it? Good rule of thumb is if you smell it, you're losing it, right? So if you don't smell it, you've got a pretty tight can. Now, guys will be like on this, they'll be commenting and putting links and all kinds of bullshit on this video about how they can get NATO cans for $25 a piece. I'm telling you, you fucking can't. And every time you try to game the system, or you've got like, you go ahead and do that, dildo. When those seams break open, and they will, especially if you're carrying them in a truck or in a trailer, you will have 5 gallons of gas all over your shit. So you go ahead. Everybody thinks they know something more. I have been fucking with these gas cans literally for 40 years now. I could write a book on it. So you do you, and I could do anything I want to do. Anything. Believe me. There used to be NATO cans. If you can get real NATO surplus cans for 25 a piece, and maybe you can somewhere, but if you see a new can for under 85 bucks, it's a China can. It is not a real can. And they will break open, and they will bust open, and they will rust. Whereas the import NATO surplus cans, if I had 10 of them, 3 of them would always leak. Fill them up, and you don't know they're leaking. They'd be fine through the winter. Put them in the sun, let them swell up, and when you come out, 3 out of 10 of those cans will have a spray, a piss stream that'll launch 10 feet. It'll be spraying gas 10 feet away. You'll come out to your truck in the parking lot with the sun out, and you'll have gasoline all over the bed of your truck. Imagine if that was in your SUV. Like, you would never get that shit out of there. So you do you, but I'm picking up a couple more of these square cans. I'm gonna go top them off and top this truck off. Gas prices are only going up. And by the time you see this, I know there'll be some asshole on here who's like, you saying gas prices are going up or why there's shortages. Fuck off. Like, fuck off. By the time you see this video, you're gonna be complaining and pissing and moaning because it'll be 6-8 weeks before you see this video. I don't care what you do. I'm just telling you what I do. Man, you're a fast little toad. 10:30 Saturday night. I'm gonna come out here and water the plants. That's oregano right there. I think it's oregano. That thing's been alive for 3-4 years. This is mint that just completely took over this. These are all wicking beds, but I never use them like that. Tomatoes. Don't water your tomato, water the dirt. Ate some of these the other morning. Sweet peas. Man, they're so good. Carrots from a year or two ago. Direct sowed carrots and beets did amazing. If you don't know, direct sowed means I put the seeds straight into the dirt. This is mint that took off last year. It just kind of grew this year. Sweet taters, jalapenos. I think these are jalapenos. This bed's super yellow, so there's something in here that these plants don't like. These are also carrots from last year. They'll go to seed. This is cilantro that's gone nuts. If you don't know, coriander is cilantro. Sweet taters, dill, jalapenos, broccoli. I need to cut this off and it'll start doing shoots again if I cut it down. Jalapenos. These actually have jalapenos on them now. They're starting to produce. They got little like quarter size jalapenos. So that's all it takes to take care of your garden. That's it.
Man, I'm talking about Willis, one of the realest to try. My family, SOE, got the tools to survive. Yeah.